As the fame of Kadamattathu Kathanar spread far beyond Kerala, stories about the mysterious priest reached distant lands, and one day a foreign bishop arrived at the church of Kadamattam during his spiritual journey, hoping to witness the legendary man whose miracles had become known everywhere.
Kathanar welcomed the bishop with honor and offered him rare gifts. And while examining them, the bishop smiled softly and remarked that seeing fresh grapes in Kerala would truly be a miracle, because such fruits were extremely rare in those lands during that time. Without showing surprise, Kathanar quietly took a single grape from the basket, walked toward the church courtyard, dug a small hole in the soil with his hands, placed the grape inside the earth, and then slowly began whispering sacred prayers while the villagers watched in complete silence. As Kathanar continued his prayers, the wind around the courtyard suddenly became still. The atmosphere turned strange and heavy, and before anyone could understand what was happening, a tiny green sprout slowly emerged from the soil right before the eyes of the shocked crowd. Within moments, the tiny sprout began growing rapidly across the courtyard, like a living serpent, twisting through the air until it transformed into a massive grapevine filled with fresh, green grape clusters hanging heavily from every branch, while the bishop stepped backward in disbelief. The bishop slowly approached the vine with trembling hands, plucked a fresh bunch of grapes, tasted them carefully, and stood frozen in silence after realizing that the grapes were completely real, sweet, fresh, and no different from naturally grown fruit. Although many people were amazed by the miracle, some villagers secretly feared Kathanar's powers, and later that night, a few men quietly approached the bishop and warned him that Kathanar possessed dangerous magical books filled with forbidden knowledge. The next morning, the bishop visited Kathanar's house, where he discovered many ancient palm leaf manuscripts covered with mystical symbols and secret writings, and believing them to be dangerous, he immediately ordered every one of the manuscripts to be thrown into the fire. As the flames rose higher, something terrifying suddenly happened because the burning palm leaf manuscripts lifted into the air by themselves and began flying across the sky like living birds, while the frightened crowd screamed in fear and watched the impossible unfold before them. When the shocked bishop warned that such powers were dangerous for a servant of God, Kathanar calmly bowed before him and replied that he had never used his knowledge to harm innocent people, and had only used his powers to protect and help those in need. After remaining silent for a long moment, the bishop finally understood that the powers of Kadamattathu Kathanar were beyond ordinary understanding, and before leaving the church, he blessed Kathanar and permitted him to continue using his gifts for the welfare of the people.